Hello and welcome to this week's Glass Tire Top 5. It's the week of December 29th, 2016. I'm Brandon Zeck.
I'm Rainey Knutson.
This week's Top 5, what we decided to do was a little year-end wrap-up of things that are still on view but you may not have seen yet.
It's a last chance. We are saying goodbye to 2016. We're ready. And this is your last chance to see these shows. If you have plans in the next week to see some art, see these shows because they're about to close and they're great.
Number 5 is In the Wake, Japanese Photographers Respond to 3/11. So this show is about the earthquake that happened in Japan in March of 2011. The show's kind of split into two parts. Half of it is photographers documenting the landscape after the earthquake and the tsunami, and then half of it is focused on the Fukushima disaster, which was a nuclear power plant that also was disrupted during that earthquake. Really beautiful photographs. They're trying to tell this story about, human persistence in the face of disaster. That closes on January 1st.
Number 4, speaking of beautiful photographs, narrative photography at the McNay Museum in San Antonio. It's called Telling Tales, Contemporary Narrative Photography. This closes January 15th. Philip Lorca de Corsia, Anna Gaskell. You may remember the Menil collection show of Anna Gaskell in mid-aughts. Julie Blackman. These run the gamut from really documentary to very staged. Gregory Crewdson's in the show. But beautiful narrative photography, telling a story through a photograph. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful show that just embraces the narrative aspect of photography and doesn't try to be uncomfortable about that.
Number 3 is a 3 for this week. There is a Picasso show at the Menil that closes January 8th. There is a Degas show at the Museum of Fine Arts Houston that closes January 16th. And there is a Monet show at the Kimball, which closes January 29th.
3 of blockbuster dead guy shows. 2 of them have an interesting take on the artist. The Monet show is early works, so I think the earliest are late 1850s and the latest are early 1870s. So it's not his iconic stuff we all know from his later years, but you can already see his interest in water, light, and it's beautiful seeing him sort of work his way towards Impressionism. Picasso, the line is just drawings at the Menil. It being the Menil, it is elegant, it is stunning,
simple.
It's big. Go early in the day when the Menil first opens so that you can kind of have it to yourself a little bit and it's quieter. Because it's not a fun show to see with a whole lot of people packed in the galleries.
And the Degas show is just a huge retrospective of works that you've seen in the art history books but are now all under one roof and you can see all of them at the same time.
And it's his first retrospective in 30 years. So, and Degas was a nut with his cropping and his framing and his choice of subject matter. So that's a very important show and you've only got till mid-January to see it. Number 2 is Dorothy Hood, The Color of Being at the Art Museum of South Texas in Corpus Christi. You've heard us talk about it. You've heard other people talk about it. This is the show you don't want to miss. Dorothy Hood, she ranks, in my opinion, amongst the very greatest mid-century American painters. This show is huge. There are masterworks from all the museum collections in Texas. There are pieces from MoMA. They didn't even know they had it. They had never heard of Dorothy Hood. And I'm hoping that this very visionary and courageous show that this museum did will help set her back and give her a place that she deserves to have in the canon of American artists.
On the off chance you do have to miss it, which you should not, but in Houston there is a show of Hood's paintings on view at Deborah Colton Gallery.
Right.
So this is another great opportunity. If you can't get down to Corpus, if you miss it, whatever, that show is on view at Deborah Colton until the end of January.
But you don't want to have missed this show.
You don't. Number 1 this week is our not last chance, but it's our thing that's opening. It's the Dallas Biennial, which is opening on New Year's Eve in Dallas at the Box Company, which has finally got its fire marshal permit and everything will go swimmingly. The Dallas Biennial, organized by Michael Mazurek and Jesse Morgan Burnett. It's something different than the past couple biennials. They do something different every year. That's kind of their thing. They're a little unpredictable. This year is a 2-person show with Herman Nietzsche and Teresa Margolis. So it'll be a lot of paintings, videos, documentations from Nietzsche, and then Margolis is going to do some site-specific things as well as some performance things.
And she's performing at the opening.
As far as I know, they're both supposed to be present at the opening.
2017 is right around the corner. I know that our resolution here at Glass Tire will be to see more art in 2017. We look forward to seeing you out and about. We hope you do the same, and I hope you enjoy the final days, the waning days of this, our 2016.
Go see some art.
Go see some art.